How's it going, guys? Gatorade here. Today we're going to be breaking down Silent Heart and giving you all the information you need to play the Oath. Alright, so first thing we're going to talk about is we're going to split Silent Heart into 3 categories. These categories are going to be heavy, medium, and light. Now, these categories are mainly split up just because you're going to have to choose the weapon you're going to want to use. With Silent Heart, mobility is pretty key just because you're not going to have any mantras to gap close, so we're going to get into the weapons right now. For light, I would recommend a whaling knife just because the crit can move you in a direction you're facing. For medium, truthfully, it's kind of personal preference. Spears are really good with Silent Heart just because of the damage output. And then for heavy, I like halberd a lot. It's kind of just a choice, but Railblade's also a really good option. To kick things off, this really doesn't depend on what weapon you're using at all. It's just kind of a good thing to know when playing Silent Heart. You want to focus on your distance a lot. You have the most range that any weapon can get based on an M1 just because of your ankle cutter. Now, this excludes mantras, but this is up a lot faster than any mantra is going to be. What you want to try to do is get as many of these off as possible, whether it be delaying it by sliding with the congas and then going for it after your opponent rolls, or just simply just going in there and uppercutting or ankle cutting. But personally, if you want to get a lot of damage out quick, I would spam as much ankle cutters as you can and kind of mix it up in there. You know, you don't want to just go same thing every time so they parry. But if you really want to get a lot of damage and end these fights quickly, definitely look into ankle cut. Now that's obviously going to be your most used move, especially with Silent Heart. But you also do have another move called Manicotti. And it's going to be your sliding and M2ing. This I would personally use if you see your opponent excessively holding block, or just kind of recognizing their patterns, say they roll and then block straight afterwards, expecting an attack so they can parry it. If you go in with that Manicotti, that block break is going to guarantee you a chunk of damage out of them. And the worst thing with Manicotti is it's very easy to punish if you get the parries off, and the last thing you want is getting unnecessary hits on you and just dwindling your health down. This isn't something I would spam unless your opponent really isn't good against it, but it's definitely something to squeeze in there whenever you can, especially when mixing up. But you gotta look at the patterns first and kind of find how your opponent plays. That's about everything for the moves with Silent Heart, because obviously they take away your mantras and they only give you 2 things to work with besides M1s. But just kind of general PvP knowledge, excluding the distancing, you're really just gonna want to feint a lot. You're kind of gonna want to have your enemy go in for the attack, that way you can punish them. That's kind of what it's all about. Your high damage output is gonna really just make that a lot easier. But your job isn't really to put on the pressure with Silent Heart. It's kind of to just see how the fight's going and make sure you're always ahead. That's about all I got for today's video. The rest is kind of just up to you, kind of finding your playstyle with the weapon you chose. But hopefully these can help you, and especially if you want to go Silent Heart. Your damage is going to be key, and your movement's also going to be a very helpful factor. So good luck out there, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.